My favorite part about ranching is I love to irrigate. I love to make grass grow. We have a cow-calf operation. I like to breed cows and make little babies. Nevada being the driest state in the country is kind of an interesting question because we're right here at the toe of the Sierras. It's not as dry here as it is in the rest of the state. My grandfather, without really realizing what he was doing, he was doing regenerative ag. The way the irrigation works in this valley, it's gravity feed, it's not pumped out of the ground. I try to be real conservative with managing the water. It's direct flow out of the river system with a series of rock dams. We don't have any permanent cement structures.
We call them water boxes, and we drop these boards in to divert the water. It backs up the water to flood irrigate. When we're finished, we'll just send it all back into the river.
And then a year like this, what we'll end up doing is we will probably not irrigate some of our ground. I like to leave some inflow in the creek because I think it's important for the aquatic life that's in the river system. I'm going to be irrigating the same way in August and September, so I don't divert a lot of water. I just take what I need.
So I think anyone who turns on a faucet every day, washes their hands or takes a shower should care about drought, especially in the western U.S. As we get deeper into a drought, the soil moisture, not just on the surface, but deep down into the root zone, starts to get drier and drier. Yeah, big negative impacts on ecosystems and vegetation due to drought. At some years, we can have a ton of rain and snow in the mountains, and then other years, like this past year, we have very few storms. Simply due to the amount of snowpack that we had this year, we can get a sense of what drought conditions might be like. And also considering the previous year, so we're now into 2 years of drought. This is our second year of drought.
Climate change has affected our strategy. I like to treat it like we're in a drought every year. The long-term changes with climate change, there is less water. We're going to address the reduced snowpack and subsequent runoff by reducing our numbers and being more aware on our irrigation practices. The whole trick to irrigation is you don't turn it on the field and then go away and come back 2 days later. You've got to be on it.
Evapotranspiration is really critical for understanding water use for farming, but then also understanding drought impacts on ecosystems too. Evapotranspiration, which is the amount of water that gets taken up into the atmosphere off of the plants and off of the bare soil. That's the key thing to understand water use and water use efficiency. For example, the farms throughout western Nevada, they have to rely nearly 100% on irrigation in the summer because we hardly get any rain in the summers. And so it's really about this balance for farming, but also for natural systems too. The U.S. Drought Monitor uses all sorts of different information to drive or create their maps. And so one project that I work on is actually forecasting the evapotranspiration, say 7 days in advance. If we can do a decent job with those type of forecasts, then we can help inform farmers on how much water to use.
Biggest success in our ranching and changing climate is we do a lot of restoration work. When we first took the ranch over, there was a lot of incising in the ditches and some of the waterways. So we've done a lot of restoration there. Fencing, we've fenced off some of our riparian areas. Well, the legacy I'd like to leave that will last through a changing climate is I want to leave it better than where I found it. If I can leave it just like it is, that would be great. With some minor changes, obviously, it's a day-to-day thing to go in there and when I'm irrigating or doing work in the meadows or in the ditches, I'm constantly making sure that I don't add to the problem and create more erosion and kind of keep things running smoothly. We can make it all work. There are solutions out there.